everyone, welcome back to my channel, Side Hustle Seattle. So today I'm going to talk about something I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and that is getting my notary commission through the state of Washington. So I have been looking at different side hustles. If you see my channel, then you know. I've been looking at different side hustles, see how viable they are, see what things I want to do. And you know how YouTube is, right? Like once you look up one side hustle, then you just get like, the algorithm just picks up and they send you nothing but other side hustle videos. So being a loan signing agent or a Notary Public and a loan signing agent, whatever the case, pops up all the time. And so I started watching some videos. There's definitely some people that were really convincing. I decided that it's probably a good idea. It's a nice way to make some extra money. And I had watched these videos like months ago and I never did anything about it. And I finally, just this past weekend, decided to actually sign up and go through the process. What actually motivated me was my brother, who lives in California, is currently in between jobs, and I thought this would be a great way for him to start making some money while he's looking for the career he really wants to be in, or maybe this becomes that career. And so I figured we should do it together. It'd be cool as siblings to kind of go through it, give each other tips and tricks and whatnot, and kind of hold each other accountable, which seemed like it would be fun. So I finally submitted my application through the state of Washington to get my notary commission with electronic endorsement, and I'll tell you why in a sec. But honestly, like in the beginning, it's really overwhelming. There's a lot of information to process. There's just a lot of resources out there, and I think that was kind of part of my reason for like stalling on doing it, right? It's like information paralysis. There's just so much that you end up doing nothing. So it's nice that I finally went through it. And I want to give you a little background about me because I realize everybody's in a different place in their life. And if you're watching this, you're either are a notary or looking to become a notary. So kind of give you a little bit of background about me. I am 29, live in the city of Seattle, hence the name of the channel. I am married, no kids yet. I have a full-time job that I absolutely love and have no intentions of leaving, at least not voluntarily. And I do not have a car. Now, I know every video I've watched about mobile notaries, they're always like, oh, you have to have a car, you have to have a car. And that's true. If you're gonna be a mobile notary, you do have to have a car. The reason I don't is I live in Seattle, I work in Seattle. There's just no point. I can walk to work, so I don't have one. And my building charges $300 a month, which is just insane for parking. And that's like not on top of like your car payment and your insurance. It's like, it's just no way for me. So, but my master plan is this, all right? So, and just hear me out for a second. I'm going to sign up to be a Notary Public for the state of Washington with an electronic endorsement, which I've already submitted the application. I'm just waiting the 30 days, whatever the case. And then I'm gonna get NNA certified as a loan signing agent. And then I'm gonna sign up to get my to become a remote online notary. So that is my master plan, which is I won't need a car because I'm gonna do it remotely. And Washington just passed the ability to do it remotely in this state. So I can do it. I actually don't need to become a loan signing agent to get approved to do remote online notary in the state of Washington. But from the companies that I've looked at, they're looking for people who can sign loan documents as well. So it just makes the most sense to go that route now. And then also, of course, that pays the most money. For Washington, you can only get $10 per notary act or $25 per notary act if you're doing it online. So becoming a loan signing agent just seems like it makes the most sense for me. Now, during this whole application process, discovery process, I have definitely made some mistakes. And I'm gonna let you guys know what those mistakes are, because if you're looking to sign up, so that way you don't make the same ones. But the application process was fairly easy. In Washington, you don't have to do anything. There's no training class, there's no test that you have to take. You literally just fill out the application. And with the application, you have to submit your bond, your $10,000 bond. You have to do a oath of affirmation form. And if you're doing your electronic endorsement, you have to tell them what company you're going through. In my case, I did DocuSign because I know DocuSign seemed the easiest for me to navigate. So that's what I submitted. It was like $45, $30 without the electronic endorsement, an extra $15 if you're going to do that. Now, I went through the National Notary Association for the rest of it. I went through I packaged it. It was like $197 for me to get my bond, for me to get my stamp, my journal, my E&O insurance, and it came with like a Washington primer, it's a little book that gives you all the rules and like what you need to know about being a notary in the state of Washington. And maybe it gave you like one other thing that I'm forgetting. What I didn't do, I didn't sign up for the membership up front because I figured I was already paying so much out of pocket that I could wait and add that at the end if I felt like it was something I really needed. But it did come with 4 years of the hotline, which is good and which I hear is very helpful. So I did that, and it does take 48 hours from once you pay to actually get your bond. So once I got my bond, that is when I submitted through the Department of Licensing for the state of Washington in order to try to get my commission. Now I will say it's a little confusing when you're trying to find the notary form in the Washington, like in the Washington portal. So I'll show some screenshots because it's confusing. At least it was confusing for me. But overall, like pretty straightforward. Okay, so I was gonna show pictures of it, but it was a little too long, so I'll just show a video. If you're not applying in the state of Washington, feel free to skip over this portion of the video. So first off, you'll just go to apply online. It'll take you to this little portal right here, and you're gonna continue. Then you're gonna go to add new service. Once you get there, I decided to browse by agency, and then I went to the Department of Licensing. Go ahead and apply for professional and business licensing. Go to OK. Gonna go to access now. Now once you get there, go ahead and go to continue. All right, and so from here, you then have to go to apply for a professional license and then scroll down to find Notary Public. Now you're officially in the actual application itself, so you can just go ahead and fill it out as need be, and then you're done. The mistakes I made early on were, well, two things. One, I didn't read like the fine print of application well enough the first time around, and then two, training courses. I bought too many training courses, so I'll start with the oath of affirmation form. So you have to submit an oath of affirmation form with it, right? And you have to get that form notarized. And so on the form, one of the things it asks you is what is going to be your commission name. And so I'm thinking like, oh, I'm just gonna put my first and last name. Like, why wouldn't I? That's what I put on everything. But in the state of Washington, you have to have your full last name, and you have to have either your first name or first initial and your middle name or middle initial. And so I just put my first and last name, paid $25 to get the thing notarized online, and then was going to submit it with the application. And then I was like rereading my application just to make sure everything was good, and realized that I didn't fill out that oath of affirmation form correctly. So I had to get it re-notarized, pay another $25 to actually put my first name, my middle initial, and then my last name. So read it thoroughly. Please, so that way you're not paying extra money that you don't already have to pay. And then the other mistake I made was I just got too many training courses up front that I just didn't need to get. So I, of course, I'm submitting the application. I'm like, all right, well, once I get my commission, I want to be ready, right? I want to be ready. I want to know exactly what I'm doing. I want to be the best notary, loan signing agent, remote online notarizer, whatever the case. And so I bought a Washington Notary Public training course for $25. I bought the Mark Wiens loan signing system. It was $177 for the most basic one. And realized I didn't need to do any of that. I am a month out from getting my notary commission and another however many weeks out from becoming a loan signing agent. So why pay the money right now? And also, not only why pay the money, when you actually go to sign up through the NNA to become a loan signing agent, there's packages that include trainings for both loan signing and being a notary public. And so I pretty much spent money that I didn't need to spend. One, I didn't need to spend it this early. Two, it was probably gonna be packaged in something else. And three, there's so much information out there, I could have found it in a different way. And so even though I was really eager to learn it all and know it all now, there's no point in knowing it all now because I'm not doing anything now. And quite frankly, I'd have to re-watch it anyway come the time. So that's one of the mistakes I definitely felt like I made early on. And I can give you a review of the Washington training course that I gave, or that I took. It was only $25, but still, I can give you that if you want to hear it. But if I could go back, I wouldn't have spent that money because I could have just waited and spent it when I really needed. Those courses weren't going anywhere, so why spend the extra darn near $200 upfront for something I didn't need right then and there. But overall, I'm really excited. I've been watching a lot of different videos, especially on remote online notarizing. I've been kind of building a plan, etc. I've in a Facebook group. What I will say, it can be a little overwhelming as well. So I think the biggest thing is I'm just trying to not get overwhelmed, because I know if I do, I won't do anything at all. But for me, filling out the application is the first step. Now that I've spent the money, I'm not gonna let it go to waste. So it was kind of nice to have my brother to kind of push me to also fill out the application, because once I do it, that's enough, that's all I need. It's just that first push. So that's good. So I'm in a good place. I'm waiting to get my commission back. As soon as I get that, I'll take the training for my to get NNA certified as a signing agent, and then we'll be off to the races from there. So yeah, let me know if you have any feedback. I would love your thoughts on my plan of eventually becoming a remote online notarizer. Again, I am not trying to get a car, not unless I move out of the city. And I know there's a lot of other expenses, like you have to buy a printer, and there's ink, and there's this, and there's that, and stuff that you can write off, but still a lot of upfront cost. Give me a suggestion on that and where I should get it. I actually have a way to get free printing at FedEx, but FedEx isn't open all of the time. So if I'm doing stuff at night, especially if I am gonna be mobile in any way, then maybe that doesn't work out. But if I'm gonna do it remote, then I don't need a printer at all, because all the documents are online. So either way, let me know what you think of my plan. Let me know if you have any advice, and let me know if you have any questions. I can 100%, I want to be as honest as possible. I want to kind of bring you guys along the full journey. That's my honest reviews on trainings that I've taken. That's the mistakes that I've made early on. That's how I'm going about getting my remote online or becoming a remote online notarizer or online notary. Let me know. I would love to hear your thoughts. I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear your opinions. And thank you guys so much for tuning in.